Welcome to The Real with Joseph Labman. I am Joseph Labman. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of The Real, taking time out of your day to come watch this episode. I really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe for me. I'd really appreciate that as well. That's the best way you can support this channel and help me grow my content and grow this channel to where I'd like it to be. Everybody hit the like button for me on the way in on this video today. That also helps promote this video more in the algorithms, helps grow this channel more as well. Please share this content. I would really appreciate that. My guests would as well. If you would please share this episode with someone you know that maybe is interested in the topic we're talking about today. Please leave a comment below as well. We'd love to hear your guys' feedback. You can interact with myself and the guest on the panel and the live chat as well. Whatever we're talking about, just leave a comment there in the live chat. Pop in and say hello. We'll put it on the screen for you. And yeah, without further ado, let's get to the show. Welcome back to The Real with Joseph Labman. I am Joseph Labman. If you're new here, please like, subscribe, and share like I said, and welcome into The Real. Appreciate you guys for tuning in this Sunday night. I hope you guys had a great 4th of July weekend, and I know I did. Had a good time, relaxed, and yeah, it was a good time. So salute to all you guys, and let's get into this show tonight. Before I get into it as well, if you'd like to donate at any time during this show, you can leave a comment in the donation as well, and it'll be read on the show live. Donate to the Cash App. There's my name right there, Joseph Labman. That's my Cash App name. Yeah, feel free to donate to the Cash App. It's like a super chat, and that's people have been asking about, so I decided to open up the Cash App side of it. So now anybody wants to donate now, I'd appreciate it. And yeah, so hit up the Cash App. It's also in the description down below as well from here on out. So, or in the ticker down there. So yeah. But let's get into it tonight. Loaded show tonight. I got my man up here joining me tonight. The man, the myth, the legend, Sir Michael Anthony. Mike, what's happening?
Oh, beautiful people.
Mike, how was your 4th of July weekend?
It's all right.
Was that
Nothing really happened.
A little hot for you?
A little hot, worked. You know how it is.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike and I went on like a world tour today too. It was great. We had a good time.
It was a good time.
Yeah, we went like a tour around everywhere today. But but Mike, let's get into it tonight. So let's start here, Mike, before we get to the main topic of the show. Still NBA related. So the Cavs finally acknowledged, Mike, the Lonzo Ball acquisition, the trade. And I thought this statement here from Koby Altman, Mike, was pretty interesting. It says, quote, "We are very excited about this opportunity to acquire someone with the skill set and versatility that Lonzo Ball brings to the team." Read the statement per Spencer Davies of Sports Illustrated. Quote, this is Koby Altman, "We have built a team for sustainable success, and finding a way to improve around the edges has been our focus this offseason. And the addition of Lonzo represents part of that process." And so I read this today, Mike, and I thought this was an interesting statement. You read that one part there, Mike. It says, "We have built a team for sustainable success, and finding a way to improve around the edges has been our focus this offseason." That sounds like to me, Mike, we're trying to build around the core four still. We're not trying to blow it up.
Yeah, I mean,
when I read into that, that's what I see. And it tells me they're not trading a piece of the core four unless it's something like a Kevin Durant type thing. Because Kevin Durant's still younger, and he's 30 in his upper 30s, but he's, that's a little different. That's a KD, that's different. But yeah, Mike, that's how I get this. That's what I read off of this, Mike. What Koby Altman saying is that we're not trading the core four unless it's something major like we saw, and we're going to build around the edges. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think just based off of those comments, it's definitely about that, getting deeper, getting more, like, better help. It's not like our bench was bad. It's that our bench wasn't constructed properly. So, like, Darius Garland or Donovan Mitchell always had to be on the floor to distribute the ball because we didn't have a real ball distributor. Ty Jerome was okay, but Lonzo Ball is a far better distributor of the basketball.
Yeah.
And a Larry Nance is better on the perimeter, better defender, taller guy who could shoot a three as well. I expect him to take all of Dean Wade's minutes. So, yeah, no, I agree. I think based off of what Koby Altman and that is saying is that's exactly what it is. We're not trading a piece of core four unless it's something crazy. And we've been having some technical difficulties this evening, folks. Apologize for that.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about
And we're back.
that. Had internet. But I heard the last part you said. What was your point? Did I miss anything, or was just what you were saying?
Just kind of what I was saying. That I agreed that we just needed some better bench players to kind of like meld better with what we're working with the core four, not so much like a reinventing the wheel kind of thing. If we're keeping the core four, the only way to trade one is if we think we're really getting better per se, because we're in a win now kind of situation.
Yeah, I agree. I read that statement again. I put it up there, and just that last part though. It says we're trying to build around the edges. It tells me we're not looking to make a major trade. We're not trying to trade away our pieces. Like going back to a lot of LeBron speculation. They're not a team. The reports, Mike, that are saying the Cavs are interested in a trade for LeBron. That's true by this statement. We're not trying to trade any pieces that we have for anybody, really, especially a guy that's on a 1-year deal that's 41. Yeah, he's LeBron, but even KD, I don't know if they would have made that trade, really, honestly. I know they offered it, but I don't think KD would. I don't know if KD really wanted to come here, Mike. I think he wanted to go to Houston all along. I highly doubt Cleveland was on his list of teams.
Yeah, from what I understand of that trade, if Phoenix liked our offer much better, and if KD wanted to come to Cleveland, he would have been a Cavalier because they liked our trade better. Just KD didn't want to be here.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So you're only bringing somebody in as if you can sign them, which the Lonzo Ball trade was a smart trade for them. That wasn't a big trade because number one, you didn't trade any of your core four, obviously, for Lonzo, and Isaac Okoro, that run with him's kind of ran its course. It's time to get better. You needed more size on the perimeter defensively. You needed another bigger playmaker. And that's what you get Lonzo for only $10 million. So that's a good deal for them. And then, like you said, with Larry Nance, you signed him, you bring him back, team friendly deal, and he gives you what you need in the front court, what you've been missing. So, but yeah, Mike, I think this statement really kind of solidifies that. I don't think we're going to see any moves from this core four, anything. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley were never getting traded. But in terms of Darius Garland and Jared Allen, Mike, I don't see any trade happening. We can just put that to rest, and I think that's what this statement said today.
Yeah.
So that leads us to our next point, though. Moving on from the Cavs. Actually, real quick though, Mike, what's your thoughts on the Lonzo Ball? Really, the Larry Nance and this. What's your thoughts on the Cavs moves so far this offseason?
I really like the moves. I mean, basically, it was a player swap: Lonzo Ball for Isaac Okoro. I think Lonzo Ball gives you more of what you need, which is better ball distribution and somebody who can like get a layup every now and then. I like Isaac Okoro. I never disliked the kid, but like, bro couldn't shoot a three to save his life, which he was really good at in college. So I don't know why he got to the pros and just it didn't work out for him. But really, Isaac Okoro was a 3-and-D player that couldn't shoot the three. So, and Lonzo doesn't have a great shot either, but he can at least create his own shot if he had to off the bench.
Yeah.
And Larry Nance, I mean, he's improved a lot on his game in his time with the Trailblazers. So we're getting kind of a better version of him. Like Cavs fans might be like, oh, Larry Nance is back. It's like, yeah, he is. But like he has improved exponentially on what he once was. So I think we'll be very happily surprised to see how Larry plays the game now that he's had a couple more years under his belt away from the Cavs. And I hope we are able to do something special because that would be cool for Larry Nance Jr. to get something.
Yeah, I agree. I think it gives him more maturity in that locker room too. More experience, more maturity, which they needed, I think. And somebody too he's not a guy that's gonna punk. He's gonna be pushed around like a punk or anything. He's a guy to go out there and fight, give you good. If you tell me I got Larry Nance out there for 15, 20 minutes on a playoff game in one night, I like that. I like him out there. He likes to get after it, compete, and obviously, I think what we know what the franchise means to him. We need more guys like that, in my opinion, with experience, respect. Very respectable guys can probably offer some leadership because of experience.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I like the signing with Larry Nance, and I love the
And
Lonzo
boy, oh
Ball
man,
news.
can that man go get a steal? That dude can get a steal like
Yeah,
better than so many. I've never seen a player who like values stealing the ball so much like Larry Nance. Larry Nance is I think he'll do well in Kenny Atkinson's system where like you get your hands in the lane a lot more and it's focused on turning the ball over. I think it'll come very naturally to Larry Nance.
yeah, I think he'll like the fast pace too, and I think
Yeah.
one person I think he'll benefit the most is Evan Mobley because Evan's got more space now. I got another guy that could step out. You put Evan at the 5, I got another guy to help with the rebound. I got a guy to shoot because he could step out and hit the 3. You know what I mean? I got a guy who can pass. I got a guy who can help me out defensively. Like he could switch out and actually hold his ground a little bit. So I like that a lot. I think he'll help Evan the most personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our thoughts on the Cavs stuff. Now moving on to the main meat and potatoes of the show, Mike. I know reason why a lot of people are tuning in tonight. Like I said, before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us out a lot. And if you'd like to donate during the show, hit the Cash App right there. There's my name on the screen, and you can donate to the Cash App. We'll read your comment on the Cash App show live on the show as well. So, yeah. Now moving on to the Lakers, Mike, and LeBron James. So let's start with this first, Mike. I did a live Friday, and I showed this photo on the screen, and I reacted to it immediately. And I said, okay, this is kind of bizarre here, Mike. He's up there at
Mhm.
the Cavs practice facility Friday, taking a picture with one of the Cavs summer league players, and he was there in the facility. Obviously, he's been in Northeast Ohio all week. He was spotted at the golf course with the welcome home hat on, and Allie Clifton, the former Cavs sideline reporter, had her or whoever had the jersey on, and LeBron, reposted it and said great apparel, great attire, whatever, with the Cavs jersey,
Proper attire.
proper attire, and then LeBron's now seen at the, practice facility. And so I reacted to this Friday, Mike, and I said, there's something weird going on here. Like, why else would you go up there? And I even said Friday, we haven't known that he's been up to that facility since 2018 publicly.
Yeah.
And I would assume, why would he ever go up to that facility? Now, there was an article written that NBA players can actually go to any facility at any time because they're NBA players and train in the off season. And so, but there's just certain facilities I think that certain players will never go into. You know what I mean? Because number one, they don't go to that place. Or, for instance, you think Larry Bird would ever went in the Lakers facility during that time with that
No.
rival? You think Kobe Bryant, if he was ever in Boston or something, would have went to the, you know what I mean? There's just certain places you don't go to and want to be seen publicly, unless, in my opinion, unless you're trying to send a message. And so LeBron responded to this because it went viral, blew up. And so, as you see there, 1.2 million views when I screenshot it. It's probably well over that now. But this is on X, and LeBron, responded to it, Mike, and he said, "quote And every summer since it was built, I live here and still train every summer. God damn, y'all honored, y'all bored, man. Go get a plate of food somewhere and enjoy the 4th of July." Yep. So that was my LeBron impersonation. That's the best I can do. But anyways,
It wasn't
no, but no. So LeBron responded to it, Mike. As soon as I got off the live, he responded to it, and so I got something I want to say about this photo. We'll start with this first, Mike, and then we'll get into a lot of the other stuff of what all this could mean. So, number one, LeBron responding, Mike. What did that mean to you?
I mean,
Because all the other
it could
stuff
mean.
happened last week. First, you start with his statement from his agent on Sunday, and then all the other cryptic stuff throughout the week, and then ended with this. But then he wants to respond to this.
I mean, it
What's your
could mean
thought?
a couple. Could mean a couple things. I think. Well, one, it could just, he's just trying to actually, uh, like put it to bed, or his agent told him to chill out with the cryptic stuff and just let it unfold. Because I don't know the tampering rules with the NBA. If there's something that, like, if he does get a buyout and he does go to the Cavs, that this can be construed as tampering. Um, the thirdly, it could just be like something is going on, and he's just trying to silence it before it like gets back to other channels.
Yeah. So here's what I got on this. Give me 1 second. Let me Google this. When was the Cavs practice facility built, right? And remember, they built that new facility, Mike, because they wanted to. It was catered to LeBron in a way to be closer to his house. That
Yeah.
practice facility, Mike, was opened, and Cleveland Clinic Courts was opened. Courts was opened September of 2007. So 18 years ago. So by my estimation, Mike, LeBron said every summer since it was built. It was built in 2007. So let me get this straight, Mike. You're telling me LeBron James, after he went on TV in 2010 and said, "I'm going taking my talents to South Beach," and Dan Gilbert, the owner of the Cavs, wrote that letter calling LeBron a cowardly betrayal and all that. We know how LeBron felt about that letter. And then coming back to Cleveland, Mike, for that when he got booed out of the stadium for the whole night. You're telling me, Mike, that Mike, LeBron's telling us that he went back to the facility in 2011. Do you really believe that?
Hell no.
Do you think he really went back to that facility ever in his whole time in Miami?
Not in Miami, no.
But he said he did. Every summer since it was built. It was built in 2007.
Yeah.
I mean,
LeBron's still on the first page of every book that he opens, dog. I mean, like,
I mean,
the LeBron lion
come
memes are my
on.
favorite, dog. LeBron just out here
Shout out to
buying
man
that
Bruce. Bruce said the narrative again.
Gotta talk
Teflon
about it.
Don, good to see you. Said bring back the GM. Worry Browns maybe cheeks again. Yeah, I know. Param
Yeah,
John, good to see you, brother. LeBron just doesn't post pics like this without a message. What's up,
agree.
guys? What's up, Param John? It's good to see you, brother. Shout out to Bruce, Teflon, and Param John. Good to see you guys. Yeah, Mike. As soon as I saw this, I'm like, he said every summer since it was built. So it was built in 2007, the practice facility. There's no way in hell I would bet the house. I'm not saying LeBron's a liar, but I'll bet the house that he did not go in that damn facility from 2011 to 2014. No way, Jose. I don't think, Mike, he's actually been in that facility since he's been in LA. I think he's been another facility that you and I know about in our area that has a full-size NBA court that he's been video training in when he was in town in the recent years.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention it because I got respect for the owner and everything, but
yeah,
I'm
we
just
were not going to mention it, but there's a more local one.
There's a new local one in our area that has a full-size NBA court. Great dude owns it. That LeBron has been training at. You just go look it up. You'll find it. And I don't think LeBron's been to Independence, Mike.
No, I think this is the first time in a long time.
And if LeBron or anybody, his people watching, there may be some people watching, Mike and I know that are actually close to have a relationship with LeBron. If you guys think I'm capping or if I'm lying, then hit me up and tell me I'm lying. But I don't think I just don't think he's been in there every summer, Mike. I'm just telling you. And I get maybe he's just speaking, just kind of like maybe he's just pissed off because what I mean. Maybe he didn't think this photo would go that viral, Mike, because this kid. Yeah, he's he's an NBA player. He's in the summer league team, but I don't think many people heard of this kid's name nationally before this photo. I'm not dissing the kid or anything, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't think LeBron thought it would get out like that. But yet again, with all that's happened in the last week, and everybody knows that facility, you can see the rug right there. They know what the walls look like. I mean, what do you think about that, Mike? I mean, what do you think his like? Do you think maybe he just didn't calculate? He maybe just didn't think it would get out like that, and that now he's trying to that statement down there was just kind of like, okay, we try to throw water on it.
Yeah, I mean it's a possibility, but in the same token, like, I mean, it just seems like so much at once. You know what I mean? Like he saw everything going on Twitter before he posted like, "Hey, chill out." Like he saw when all the responses to the welcome home hat when he was golfing in the area, and then he's talking about everything else, and like as he distances himself from the Lakers and the Rich Paul comments, and then as soon as those come out, the next thing you see from LeBron is him in Cleveland. So I mean, he could just be constructing a narrative. He could be actually trying to, throw water on it, but it just seems like so much at once, and he let a lot go on before he spoke out, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let me get to some of these comments real quick. Shout out to Wally, my Akron brother, 330 fam. He said, "Were you live with the the emojis?" Parent John said, "La Cap a lot." Shout out to Hoop Life mixtape. Welcome on in. He said, "What up, Joseph? What up, Hoop Life? Thanks for tuning in, my friend."
That's a dope picture, dog.
Yeah, it is. He said, "This tea." Yeah. um, yeah, Mike. I just don't understand. That facility was built 2007. He said he's been in that facility every summer. I highly doubt he was in that facility. And I know NBA players, it was written, they can go in any NBA facility and train in the offseason because they're NBA players. It's like they're allowed. I just highly doubt, Mike, he went in that facility from 2011 to 2014.
Right.
I just don't believe it. There's no way. Like, I'm sure you think they just let him on in there with open arms and say, "Hey, welcome back, LeBron, Sarah. We brought, like the letter and everything, the decision, or, we booed you out of town." Like, yeah, I'm sure he just came right back in there.
Yeah.
I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. And if I'm wrong, prove me otherwise. You know what I mean? I just don't. But again, I don't even care about that. Like, the man's a free man. He can do whatever the hell he wants. But,
right.
My whole point is, if you post a picture like that, of you in the practice facility, with the summer league guy, you know what I mean? I mean, of course people are going to react to it. Or if you take it, you know what I mean? Of course people are going to react to it with all the stuff that went on the last week.
Right.
I mean, what else do you expect? So,
yeah, he's the biggest star in the game. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's not, he knows that whenever he does stuff, people are going to listen and try and read into it. I think he uses it too. As would anybody.
And that's going to go to my next point. Why I think what's really going on. He said that's old picture 2017. Was that actually proven, Wiley? Because a lot of people are saying this happened Friday. That this kid's on the roster right now. That kid in the pictures on the Cavs Summer League roster. I can't remember his name, Mike. Let me look it up. In Cavs facility. Yeah, that photo. I'm double checking, Mike, but I'm sure you saw it like everybody else that was taken.
Yeah,
Friday.
I'm pretty. ESPN Cleveland talked about it, so unless it went past their fact checkers,
I don't think that would have blew up like that if it was from 2017. I think people would have saw the date and double checked it by now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think this is it right here.
Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show talked about it.
I'm trying to get the kid's name. Again, he's on the Cavs Summer League team. Denver Jones. Yeah. So that was with Denver Jones, who's on the Cavs Summer League team right now, from Auburn.
That's a dope name.
It is a dope name. Yeah. So that's that photo. Yeah. So that photo, like that's from Friday. But again, I just don't. Number one, like I said, I don't think he was in that facility from 2011 to 2014. I'd be stunned if that happened. Number one, if that is true, that was a hell of a visit. I'd like to have been the fly on the wall when that visit happened. You know what I mean? Could you imagine? I mean, I know a lot of people are out of town. Maybe a lot of people, front office people weren't there, but still, just being in that building.
Dan Gilbert tried to tackle him to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. That'd have been one hell of a visit. That's been pretty awkward. But again, Mike, he's coming out trying to fan these flames, and I think he was trying to just, because I saw people online, a lot of Lakers fans, especially. Now I say just Laker fans, because a lot of Laker fans, there's a lot of them like that want LeBron gone. I've seen that, but there's a lot of the LeBron Laker fans, let's put it like that are online. Oh, he's staying for sure. LeBron's fan the Flames. You know what I mean? He's been there every summer. Like, they just believe everything that's said. I'm just like, hey man, you guys actually do your homework. Actually, have some common sense. I mean, honestly, I don't mean to be rude, but Mike, it is kind of like common sense. Like, there's no way he was in that facility from 2011 to 2014. We'd be stunned. Right. So, again, you can't believe everything the guy says. Now, I'm not saying LeBron didn't do anything wrong. I think LeBron was. Here's what I think happened here, Mike. I think this visit, Mike, was. You know what this reminded me of, Mike? if you watch The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, remember when Michael Jordan retired the first time, Mike? When he retired in '93 and he went on that 18-month hike, 18 months playing
Yeah,
baseball.
yeah.
Remember, if you go back and actually watch that and go read the stories, how Michael Jordan came back to the Bulls in '95. He was out to breakfast one day with B.J. Armstrong, who was the point guard of the Bulls at that time, former NBA point guard. And B.J. Armstrong and him were out to Baker Square for breakfast, and they were eating pancakes. And B.J. Armstrong said, and baseball at this time was heading towards a strike at that time. And Michael was, up and down with baseball. He was slowly getting better, but, it wasn't the same as basketball. And everybody always wondered, would he come back? Would he come back? Right? We all know the story. And so you weren't born that time, like Mike and I. You still know the story. Well, Mike, you actually were born in '95, weren't you? But I
96.
wasn't. '96, almost. So I wasn't born that time. But everybody knows the story if you watch The Last Dance and how it was told. So, anyways, Michael Jordan or B.J. Armstrong says at that breakfast, "Hey, Mike, why don't you just come over to the facility and see people?" He's like, "No, no, no." He's like, "Come on, just come over and say hi to everybody. Like, let's just get you in there and come back and see what it's like." And then Michael went over to the facility, Mike, and he walked in there. And eventually he started walking around, dapping people up. Hey, what's up? Going back to the facility once his first time back there since he retired, '93. And everybody was, hey, what's up? And then somebody called him out to one-on-one game. And then from that point on, Mike, that's when it started. And what I mean by all this, like Michael started going in there and play one-on-one, right? Then he started coming back to the facility more. And as time went on, people were saying, okay, why is Michael back in the facility? And they were just downplaying it. The Bulls were downplaying it. Michael was downplaying it. It's just, he was just visiting and just, he's just there visiting with old friends. It's nothing to see here, right? Just like this statement here from LeBron, nothing to see here. But what Michael was really doing all along, Mike? It's like they said in the documentary in The Last Dance, he was feeling it out. He was getting a gauge of, can I actually play again? What's the team like? You know what I mean? Do I have it? Do I still have the motivation to do it? Is this what I want to get the fire to come back play ball again? Right? He went back in that facility, in that little span before he came back to the Bulls, because he was trying to feel it out, trying to get his rhythm back, trying to see, getting acclimated again to the Bulls. I mean, he had been out of that facility for some time playing baseball down in Birmingham, Alabama, and so he was getting acclimated. He was feeling it out. You know what I mean? And then eventually he was like, you know what? This is where I want to come back to. And obviously I'm coming back to the Bulls, right? And so I think this photo, Mike, is very calculated. I think, well, not just photo. I think him being there, Mike, is calculated. And it's just pure speculation on my part. He's not going up to that facility, Mike, unless it's for something in particular, that he has something on his mind. And if you look at all the events last week, and starts with the statement from his agent saying LeBron's going to be monitoring the Lakers' moves, this whole process of free agency, right? So he's monitoring the Lakers' moves. He's back in town with a welcome home hat on. He's got the Alley Clifton reposting the Cavs jerseys. Then he's at the facility. I think what he's doing, Mike, is honestly what they said. He's monitoring the Lakers, but he's also exploring his other options at the same time. And yes, he could request a trade. I don't think LeBron wants to trade on his resume, like I've said. If he does leave LA, I think it would only be by buyout. Now, some people say, why the hell would the Lakers buy out LeBron? Well, here's a couple ways to look at that. I think that why they could buy out LeBron. Number one, if you have a LeBron James in your building, Mike, that doesn't believe in your team and doesn't really want to be there, and you're going full-blown Luka Lakers now, does it make sense to keep him in the building?
No.
A guy with that caliber, with that presence?
Absolutely.
Is that
not.
good for your chemistry? To keep
Not good for chemistry, morale, anything.
Why would you want a LeBron there that doesn't believe in what you're doing? If you know he wants out, and he's basically signaling to you a little bit that I don't believe in this roster, and he tells them privately, "Hey, after my evaluation, I think we need to move in different directions." Okay, now how do we move in a different direction? Well, here's the thing: by trade, that's $52.6 million. That's a lot of money. So if you trade LeBron to wherever, which you can, because number one, he has a no trade clause, so he gets to dictate where he goes. And also, number two, you would have to take back, why would LeBron, if he did get traded, theoretically, he's not going to pull, you know what I mean? He's going to be in coordination with that team of what players we're going to give you. The Lakers have zero leverage in that situation, Mike, right? And so the Lakers would have to take back maybe players that they didn't want. And then some of the salaries, let's say they didn't want a Jared Allen which they don't. They have DeAndre Ayton and they have Jackson Hayes. Why would they bring back Jared Allen for $20 million, Mike? Does that make sense for them financially? With a DeAndre Hunter with all the money and maybe another player. I mean, DeAndre Hunter's nice, but that's a lot of money going on your books with the new CBA. Am I correct?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if
No, that is-
and here's why I bring that up. So again, you would have to bring back whatever they give you in a trade just to match the salaries because he has the trade leverage because he has the no trade clause, meaning that team if let's say he did ask for a trade, let's say it's the Cavs, which I know there's a lot of complications there, or the Mavericks even, him and LeBron and that team would dictate what they're giving the Lakers. We just have to make the trade work. So the Lakers don't have really any leverage of what they get back, and they may get some shitty contracts back on their payroll. And why is that important? Because number one, you don't want shitty contracts, but also number two, their biggest goal, which is we reported this week, is to keep as much cap space as possible for 2026 and 2027 because they want to get another superstar to put alongside their now franchise player and superstar Luka Doncic. So, what other way is there, Mike, to get rid of this guy? If you or to not say get rid of him, that's or to depart from him. If you wanted to get him out of the building and move on, what's the other way, Mike?
Only way is a buyout.
Only way is a buyout. And so, again, people that say, why would the Lakers buy him out? Well, again, if LeBron is signaling all this, that's not a good thing to keep in your locker room, I don't think. I just don't think that's healthy. I don't. If you know LeBron doesn't want to be there, and here they even said, Rich Paul said in his statement right here, if I could find it, that right there, Mike, he wants to make every season he has left count, and the Lakers understand it and are supportive and want what's best for him. You know what that tells me, Mike? The Lakers understand that, hey, if LeBron don't want to be here, we probably do want to find a way to move on, right? What is that? Do you get that, Mike?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, that last part is
yeah. If LeBron doesn't want to be here, then we'll make sure we'll find a way to depart. We'll just make, I mean, it's only 1 year left. Here's your $52 million. Thanks for everything. Good luck to you the rest of your career. And so we got Luka Doncic. And so that's to my next point, Mike. So that's that side of it that's the whole practice photo thing and where I think this is really going. Again, the Lakers, Mike, if you look at their moves in the last week, if you go back to Rich Paul's statement there, where he talks about LeBron at this stage in his life career, he wants to make every season left count, right? He knows that the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. When the word realistic there, Mike, he knows he says he knows the Lakers are building for the future, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. Does that mean, Mike, that he doesn't think the Lakers have a realistic chance of winning next year?
That's definitely one way to take it. That's how I would construe it. At least not the way they're currently constructed.
And have they done anything dramatic in the last week to change that?
No.
Besides DeAndre Ayton, who a team is paying him to not play basketball for them. Very talented guy. I hope he pans out. And, dates a porn star off the court.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm not saying that's wrong here. That's his life. He can do whatever he wants. But I'm just saying, DeAndre Ayton, there's a lot of unknowns there. Right? I think that's fair to say. Am I right? I mean, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, he's always been a question mark. I don't think he really loves the game of basketball.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, there you go. I mean, there's a lot of things out there in DeAndre Ayton. Now, again, I hope he turns his career around. I hope he pans out. I wish him all the success, honestly. But I don't think he moves the needle for the Lakers, Mike. All these people saying we got a big three in LA with Luka, LeBron, and DeAndre Ayton. Is that a big three, Mike?
No, not in my opinion.
It's a dynamic duo, and LeBron and Luka. We'll just leave it at that. If you're going to say a big three, Austin Reeves is better than DeAndre Ayton. But again, so going back to the original statement, because stuff this weekend, Mike, ever since LeBron reacted to that photo, Mike, stuff's gotten real quiet, Mike, hasn't it? Obviously, it's 4th of July. People are out. News slows down, but it's been real quiet, Mike, in the rumor mill. But let's go back to the original statement, and let's go back to what the Lakers have done. So again, they said right here, and then they also said we are very appreciative of the partnership that we've had for 8 years. Like I said, almost sounded like a subliminal goodbye. And so I just read this, Mike, more and more, and I look at the Lakers' moves this week, Mike, and let's look at their moves this week. They brought in DeAndre Ayton. who again, the Portland Trail Blazers are paying to not play basketball for them. Knight, very talented guy, former number one overall pick. Like I said, hope he pans out. But there's a lot of question marks there. I don't think he moves the needle for them in the West, in a loaded Western Conference. Let me look at the Houston Rockets that they've done this offseason, Mike. Do you want to talk about getting better? you think
Oh
the
my God.
Lakers are competing with the Houston Rockets right now?
No.
No.
Or the Timberwolves.
Hey,
Or
a lot
OKC.
OKC, hell no. I mean, no. And so again, it's the same team that they finished third, but they got smoked in the first round. They lost in the I don't say smoked, but they lost in the first round. Some people would say smoke, but they lost in the first round. Let's say that. One and done. And so and then their other big move, Mike, was they brought in Jake LaRavia. What is he? I think he's a rotational piece, Mike, maybe.
Yeah.
From the Canes. Nice, I guess. I don't know. He got some upside there, but not a name that is that moving the needle, Mike? Jake LaRavia?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. How about Jackson Hayes, who you already had on your roster? Did he do
You know
anything for
exactly
you
what you're
last
getting
year?
out of Jackson Hayes.
What's that, Mike?
I said, you know exactly what you're getting with Jackson Hayes. He doesn't move any needles. He's solid, but he's
already been
more
there.
of the same.
And he's already been there. You already know what you have with him. Oh, Mike, it's interesting. Here's where it gets there. But here's where I think, Mike, the Lakers are looking past LeBron. Because LeBron says he's going to calculate every move he's going to monitor every move the Lakers do, right? Almost kind of way saying, hey, you better make some moves and better appease me, or I'll look elsewhere, right? And so all the moves they've made, though, Mike, DeAndre Ayton, same agent as who? Luka Doncic. From I think it's called BDA Sports or something like that. Duffy's the guy's name, his agent. We'll call it Duffy Sports for now. Duffy Agency. Bill Duffy, I think is his name. Same agent as Luka Doncic. Jackson Hayes, Mike, same agent as Luka Doncic. Brought him back. Remember all the years, Mike, LeBron was in LA? How many times did they have Clutch Sports clients on that roster? KCP, the list go. All the guys they brought in all the years. They had a lot of good amount of Clutch Sports clients, right, Mike, on that Lakers?
Oh yeah, always
tenure when LeBron had what control? Because Jeannie Buss catered to LeBron because she was indebted to him. But Jeannie Buss ain't paying the bills no more, Mike, is she?
No, she is not.
There's a new sheriff in town. His name's Mark Walter. And Mark Walter seems to be catering to whose agency, Mike?
Sir Luka Doncic's agency.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here's where it gets here's a cherry on top, folks. They're really trying to cater to LeBron and make sure we want him back next year, and we're going to work with him and Luka, right? No. Mike, they gave Jackson Hayes a no trade clause. You know how many players in the NBA, Mike, had a no trade clause last year or right now currently? LeBron James and Bradley Beal. That's it.
Oh my God.
Now Jackson Hayes is in the same air as LeBron James and Bradley Beal when it comes to basketball. But can you believe? I mean, that only happens, Mike, unless somebody's got some more influence now in that organization, right? And so, I mean, it's what that reminds me of, Mike, when the Cavs. Some people thought the Cavs overpaid for Tristan Thompson, and around that time because what agency was Tristan Thompson part of, Mike? Clutch Sports, who the Cavs made sure they had to keep in good hands, right? Because they had LeBron at the time. LeBron was the focus. And a lot of people thought they overpaid Tristan Thompson, but you had to keep LeBron happy. All these moves they've made this week, Mike, with DeAndre Ayton, same age as Luka. Bringing back Jackson Hayes, giving him a no trade clause, same age as Luka. Who we already saw with LeBron and Luka last year, and that bench didn't give you shit in the playoffs. And then Jake LaRavia. That's the moves they've made, Mike. And so I just wonder where this is going to go, Mike, because I just don't think he's not the priority anymore, obviously. And if he says what he said in that statement, going back to what they said in the statement, Mike, originally, LeBron wants to compete for a championship. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all. We are very appreciative of the partnership that we've had for 8 years with Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka. Consider Lakers as a critical part of his career. Sounds like a subliminal goodbye, like I said when I first reacted to it. And then we understand the difficulty in winning now while preparing for the future. We want to do what's best for LeBron at this stage in his life and career. He wants to make every season he has left count, and the Lakers understand that and are supportive of what he wants are supportive and want what's best for him. So going by the original statement, Mike, everything the Lakers have done in the last week goes totally against what LeBron wanted. So where does that lead us to now, Mike? And again, I'm gonna pull up this clip, Mike, from Shams Charania, who broke the original story. I didn't see a lot of people react to this. This was on where is it? Right here. This was on Pat McAfee's show. This was June 30th, Mike, the day before I believe it came out. Or was it the day it did come out? No, the day after, excuse me. The day after that statement came out, Mike. This was Shams Charania on the Pat McAfee show. And I'm gonna pay special attention to what he says here, folks. I'm gonna point something out to you guys.
In Detroit, there are those the only, I guess, realistic options for, even if you could move players? I saw people saying Cleveland, but they would have to do too much being in the second apron. So are those the only two realistic landing spots potentially for LeBron?
I mean, we don't know how it's going to play out, but in the event or in a scenario where it does lead to him on, in free agency, I mean, at that point, it could be really anything. It could be a minimum. It could be a exception. I think that becomes secondary, right? Like at that point, if there is a resolution, it's about just figuring out what spot.
Yeah, he already tweeted about wanting to be a pacer. So,
did you catch that, Mike? Listen again. I don't know if you guys caught that. Listen to what he says, folks. Now, again, this gentleman here, and great job out of him, and shout out to Pat McAfee show. Great, I love Pat McAfee. But again, he asked him because this guy was asking Mike more via trade. Because again, you look at the bottom there. This was the day after LeBron opted into his contract, right? And so we already know at the day after our show the next day, Mike, that night we were talking about a week ago we were talking about what trade scenario would work, right? And it says right there in the title, LeBron James planning trade from the Lakers. He's asking in terms of trade because he mentioned the Cavs, Mike, but he said the second apron and all that. But Shams Charania, Mike, didn't even talk about. When you listen to his answer here, really pay attention to his answer, folks. He doesn't even reference a trade. Listen to what he says again.
I mean, we don't know how it's going to play out, but in the event or in a scenario where it does lead to him on, in free agency, I mean, at that point, it could be really anything. It could be a minimum. It could be a exception. I think that becomes secondary, right?
Did you catch that, Mike? In the event,
he talked about free agency.
How does he become a free agent, Mike?
A buyout.
Oh,
and that is it.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. And this got swept under the rug, Mike. Nobody brought this up. The guy that actually broke the damn story said this nationally, and nobody talked about it. Oh, by the way, Mike, here's another one for you. Rob Pelinka, you know him, the GM of the Lakers. They had a draft pick, Mike, a guy they really like from Arkansas. I think Adu, I think is his name, right there on the screen. I'm sorry to mispronounce it. And so he's on the local Spectrum Sportsnet show, hosted by Allie Clifton and Big Game James up there, shot in, the legend, obviously. Here's what he said, Mike, about their draft pick and who it can help on the roster.
Pick that we traded out. So tons of credit, thankful for the support of, Jeannie to allow us to be aggressive and use resources to win at the margins, move up in the draft and get a player that we really think is going to dimensionalize our roster. We just felt like one of the things we needed to address is to get younger and more athletic on the wings, and being able to get a player like Adu that can, catch lobs from the corner when Luka is making paint decisions, I think is going to be really special. And then he's just big shoulders, big chest, a guy that's going to play defense and add some physicality and athleticism to our roster. So super excited about that.
Rob, I was going to say the prototype.
Did you hear what he said there, Mike?
Prioritizing Luka.
Yeah, when Luka drives, he's been real nice cutting back door. Did he mention LeBron at all, Mike?
Nope.
No, he didn't. Well, folks, again, this goes back to my original statement. The Lakers are looking past LeBron, and they're going full-blown in the Luka Doncic era. And by LeBron's statement, Mike, that evaluation should be about done right about now, right? I mean, you've seen
We're
everything
getting
they've done.
close. We're getting real close.
There's no more moves they can make, Mike. There's no realistic trades. They're not getting Andrew Wiggins. They're not unless they pull off a miracle, Mike. I don't think they're getting Bradley Beal if he gets bought out. I don't, you know what I mean? That's a big if. I think they're about done. I don't see any unless they pull off a miracle, Mike. I don't see by his original statement. Time to calculate, Mike. Time to monitor monitoring the situation. I mean, it's time to make a decision. I think. Time's ticking. I think we're going to have to get to resolution on this, Mike. I think we're about that time this week.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this week is a big week for the NBA in general. I mean, oh man, I just hope it comes home.
We got somebody come up here, Mike, to give his take on it. Shout out to Jersey's in the show, Mike. What's up, Jersey?
Hello.
What's happening? Hello.
But Jersey, you heard my breakdown. We reacted to the photo. I said Jersey. We'll start with the photo. I said Jersey, and you had the floor to close out the show. I said Jersey. I don't think he went back to that facility from 2011 to 2014. He said he went there every summer since it was built in 07. Do you really think he went back in that facility in 2011 to 14 after the letter and decision and all that? What's your thoughts on it?
No, and just by how nervous he was when he played in the arena, like when he come to the gun, how just he'd be biting his nails, and you could just tell by his body language. LeBron shows his nerves. He wears it all over himself. I mean, he shows at the free throw line. So there's no way in hell he went back. And if you'd see photos not all the time if he went back. Every time he'd go back, you'd see photos. I don't think he's ever been back till now. So, because somebody would have always posted a photo. And it's like you said, he's got a real close friend literally 10 seconds from our house that owns a training facility with NBA, pro size court in it. He's got no reason to have to go there. So, I think he went there taking the temperature, letting the cast see the response by the fans. So, kind of what we were talking about earlier. I think it was feel out, but also taking the temperature of everyone. So, and work on that possibility. So, no, I don't buy that shit one bit.
Yeah. What do you think? I said Jersey, what I told you earlier. It reminded me, seeing him at that practice facility reminded me of when Jordan came back, and you were around at that time. When Jordan was coming back to the facility, and first time he retired in 94, 95. Remember, he started slowly coming back around. The baseball was on strike. And that day he got asked to come to the facility, and then he started playing basketball. Somebody challenged him one-on-one, and then he just started getting that itch back, and then he just kept coming back to the facility. It was almost like he was feeling it out. And when I see LeBron, after all the stuff that we know from last Sunday, from the original statement from Rich Paul, all this little cryptic stuff this week, and then seeing the Lakers moves, it seems like he was in there maybe kind of just, is he feeling it out? Is he kind of going back in there to maybe see, hey, what's it like still, and what's the reaction? What's your thoughts on that?
Could be. I mean, could be going in there to see how it's just to see how he feels. This is where he would practice until they get the new facility built, but this is where he'd practice. How does it feel? Does it feel better than LA? Does it feel good? Does it feel natural? Could be. You know what I mean? Or it could have just been, hey, get that photo, get it out there. Let's see how people react to it. There's a lot of different reasons, but it certainly wasn't just going there for a workout, just for
Right.
just a yeah, I'm gonna go get a workout in. You know what I mean? It wasn't that. Hell, he could work out in his house.
Yeah. Do you guys think in any way, and I'll ask this real quick, and you guys both, do you think in any way this was him trolling?
No, he doesn't strike me as the trolling type.
No, I don't think it's that. I think he learned from the decision. Don't troll the Cleveland fans or is he trolling LA? But I mean, no.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever. Everything's just calculated. It's always been calculated, and it plays into a motive. There was a motive behind it for something else. For another motive. So, no, he just didn't go there for a workout, and I don't think he's there trolling. I think it was probably more of, how does it feel, and I want, and then seeing, I think he really does care. He'll sit there and say he doesn't really care what people think. That dude cares what people think. Again, you see it all over him. You see how he reacts in interviews. He cares what people think of him. So I think it was taking the temperature of the fans and public, let the Cavs see it. And, if it all lines up, starts to feel good, then they start to work on, can I get a buyout of 25, 26 million from the Lakers and pick up another 26 million for the Cavs? I still make 52 million.
I don't think the Cavs can offer him $26 million though.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't get into
I don't
that.
think that. But I think he would give. I think he would give back the amount that he would give the Lakers back. Probably the amount the Cavs would be willing, actually financially able to give him. So that's how I see it. But again, I also think too. We also talked about on the show, my last show, I talked about on Friday. I said I think if he did come back, I think there might be a little incentive, in the back door, if you know what I mean, from ownership, who offered the 15%. Or is putting the 15% out for sale magically 2 weeks ago. Maybe is that a coincidence? I don't know. And I showed the clips too in my last show. LeBron and his camp have always talked about owning the Cavs one day. Maverick Carter said he'd be interested in it. And you guys like Chris Broussard, have covered LeBron his whole career, said he always thought there was a wink-wink deal with Dan Gilbert and LeBron. And so that probably would be part of it as well. I mean, I know we've talked about that. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't think that's a coincidence at all, because why would Dan Gilbert do that? He doesn't have to do that now. He could wait till a year, 2 years from now. Why did he do that? And that is that him publicly saying to them without tampering. You know what I mean? Here we go. You know what I mean? It's time to. I'm willing. So, and that's always been speculation, and they've talked about that. So I could see LeBron having an ownership group with a lot of those guys, actually having those guys in it. The Maverick Carters in it, the Rich Pauls in it. Hell, maybe even some of the guys you grew up with. I mean, I just see him as that type of guy. And then so obviously maybe some other investors to come in, because it's going to take almost $700 million. So, but I don't think that's a coincidence at all. I think the timing of it is actually really, it points to what we're talking about.
Yeah, and by the way, here's Maverick Carter in 2018 talking about it.
Every now and again, he's started to utter, when I'm done playing, I'm going to do this, or when I'm done playing, I want to buy a team, and when I'm done playing, I like to own. But he doesn't really talk about things like that. So I don't know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. You never know. It depends on who's the owner at that time and how they feel.
So do you think that he might end up buying this team? Because then he could decide about the statue.
I think, if this team was up for sale, he'd definitely be one of the people who'd look at buying it for sure.
And by the way, it was referencing towards the Cavs there. They were in Cleveland that night, and she was asking about a statue in Cleveland. So they've said it publicly right there.
Well, you know what? And the other thing behind, somebody said to me, "The hell were we?" Oh, last night we were out watching fireworks, and someone said to me, if he came back to Cleveland and won a championship, that might catapult him past Jordan in a lot of people's minds. If you look at his whole body of work, how many years he's played and how many playoff games, and but to come back to Cleveland, even at 41 years old, and be the difference maker to get them to the championship. I mean, that's something Michael Jordan didn't do. At 41 years old. So I don't see Jordan as I really wish Jordan, we could have saw Jordan as the guy that took young guys and taught them and helped them win. I think he did a little bit with the Wizards, but I think Jordan just has a little bit.
He didn't want Kwame Brown. He wanted to trade that pick for Elton Brand and ownership.
Yeah, I mean, I just think he was just too competitive, too selfish in that sense. Where, I would just love to see LeBron do that. If he could come and do that, I mean, that really puts him in that conversation. And I mean, it would make me actually take a hard look at it. Would he ever be the late game guy that Jordan was, the competitor Jordan was? No, but you also can't disregard, 23 years. I mean, all of his accolades. My gosh, he's really only been injured one really significant injury. So if you just look at the whole thing, I mean, it really is. I mean, he's up there. But he's missing that one thing, and I think that's what it would be. I mean, here to win in 16 catapulted him. You know what I mean? But to leave and then come back, do it again 10 years. Let's say 10 years. Let's say it was next year, 2026. Do it again 10 years later, at 41 years old. That would be something we've never seen before. So he'd definitely be there. I think they know this. You know what I mean? They know this. And I think that could be his last ditch effort to, he don't have to win 6, but if he could do that, that would certainly elevate him.
Yeah, that's a great. Yeah, we brought that up last week, and I think that's something he's definitely weighing. I mean, when he says in that statement, he values maximizing his last 2 years. He wants to be for a championship. I know that's what he's thinking. Before we wrap it up, guys, here's the rest of Shams Charania's statement, and here's what it says.
But one thing though that makes this interesting is this is really, Pat, like a partnership, right? Like the Lakers, LeBron James, they've been together for 7-8 seasons now, and he won a championship there. He won 2 conference finals there. Before he got there, they weren't a playoff team. He gets there, obviously they get Anthony Davis. They become a perennial contender year after year. So that partnership, that relationship, that's why these conversations, that's why you have open, direct dialogue between both sides. Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, Rich Paul from an agent level, from a representative level, LeBron James himself. Just at the draft, like the Lakers just drafted Adu Thoreau, a big man in the 2nd round. They moved up to go draft him. That's a Clutch Sports client. So like, just because of whatever's going down here or what the statements are that we're seeing, and LeBron James clearly wants to finish his career on his own terms, and wants to make the best decision for himself, just like the Lakers are making the best decisions for themselves. Like, those both can be true while the two sides can conduct business together.
Yeah, I'll be excited to see it.
And then going back to that draft pick, we heard what Rob Pelinka said when he referenced to him. He thought it was a great pick for to help Luka when he's driving and cutting backdoor. The guy can cut backdoor, the guy they drafted. But so hearing that side of it too. But again, before that, he mentioned about LeBron being a free agent, which we heard that. This was after he opted in. What's your reaction to hearing him say that second part there? Obviously said, yeah, they took a Clutch Sports client, in the draft, but I don't know if LeBron's moving the needle over.
It goes along with what you're saying. I mean, they've moved past him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not about him anymore, and I don't think he can deal with that or ever would want to deal with that. He's no longer the guy. So, if he there's one place he could go where he's the guy. You know what I mean? He's the guy. It's his jersey that's being posted everywhere. You said Lakers debuted their new jerseys. They put Luka's up, not LeBron's.
Well, they put a number 23 up in their Instagram story, the 23 jersey, and then they put 77. But then they showed the back of Luka's jersey that had his name in 77. They didn't have the back of LeBron, said James 23. And I don't think, I know Brian Windhorst pointed this out, I don't think they've put out a statement or anything yet or acknowledged LeBron opting in, which in years past they always did.
Yeah, that's the other.
LeBron, you have to.
Yeah, you do. I just don't think here. previous ownership, they let him get in that contract where he could opt in. And I'm going to go back to what I said. I think I said it last week. LeBron's from that far enough back, along with all these other guys, the Kobys, the Shaqs, all these people. They came to play for the Bus family. They came to play for that ownership. They played for that ownership. I mean, that's what it was all about. The Bus family. It was Magic.
But you wanted to be the guy in the Lakers brand, like you're the franchise guy.
Well, yeah. Well, and that's the other thing with that too. But here, the Bus family no longer controls the team. He can't have direct. He no longer has direct access to the owner. He no longer has the owner's ear or has the owner's in his pocket, I should say. And then again, he don't like being second fiddle. He's not going to be second fiddle. That kind of diminishes his career. You know what I mean? So I mean, it was kind of like Jordan. It ran its course with the Bulls. Jerry Krause ended that, and Jerry Reinsdorf. He goes to the Wizards. He's the guy. I mean, you still have some decent guys there. Jerry Stackhouse. I mean, you have some decent guys on that team, but nobody gave a shit about them. It was Jordan. We went to go here. Me and Chad went to all those when the Wizards come into town. We went. We weren't going to see all them cats. We're going to see Michael Jordan. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's ran its course in LA, and I think they both know it. And I just think maybe there's probably some behind the scenes movement going on, primarily with where LeBron's trying to go, trying to get that in order. Then they'll work the buyout there, and it'll be over with. I'm sure the Lakers looking forward to it. They want it over with. They want to be done and start really moving forward. And they're not, and they're showing that. You know what I mean? Because if they really didn't want that, they wouldn't be doing these things. Rob Pelinka wouldn't have deliberately said what he said. You know what I mean? The guy's a GM that freaking LA Lakers. He don't make errors. You know what I mean? So, the jersey thing, they're being deliberate about it because they're saying we want to move on. And hell, they even said in the statement the Lakers want to, they want to move on and rebuild their team, and LeBron wants other things. So when you have differences,
now they did post highlights of Bronny today. Does that change your mind in anything?
No, that don't mean anything. I mean, everybody knows wherever his dad goes, he's going. You know what I mean? So that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter one bit.
I want to end on this one. Going back to what Sharani has said, that second part I played there, Mike, I'll go to you. He said that maybe they could coexist with what they're trying to do now. And, they drafted a Clutch Sports client, a rookie, even though Pelinka, like we heard, referenced Luka to help him. Mike, could they really actually coexist if they're trying to go one way and LeBron wants the other? They pretty much saying this. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance of winning it all.
Yeah, I think you just said it. I was just going to say that I don't think there is a way for them to coexist because the biggest caveat is LeBron wants to win right now. He has maybe, 2 seasons left before he decides to retire. And I just don't think the Lakers are in a position to do that.
Yeah, I mean, Jersey, they say, we understand the difficulty of winning now. We're preparing for the future. We want to do what's best for we want to evaluate what's best for LeBron at this stage in his career and life. I mean, I know they said the Lakers understand our support and want what's best for him, but I just don't. Can they actually go in the same direction? Could they go different ways and still coexist this upcoming season and win a championship, Jersey?
No, they can't. They're not winning a championship in the next 2 years. They're not. 3 years, 4 years. They're not. So in
2 years. That's 3 years, maybe. I don't know.
Well, here I'm just saying, if he played 3 more years, it's looking more like 2. They're not winning a championship, and they know it. All the fans know it. And if you look at the way the East's setting up, here they're not going to beat the Rockets. Hell, they wouldn't even beat the Nuggets. They're not going to beat the Nuggets. They're not. They wouldn't even beat Golden State probably. Still, so they got no chance. and they're never going to have a chance until they free themselves of him and do what they want to do. And number one, they free themselves of that contract, but they don't have this force pulling on them. You know what I mean? They can literally just go. Ownership, management could do what the hell they want, do it and start. Especially with new ownership, they're going to come in and do it their way. They don't need some, 41-year-old player and his agent, trying to, blackmail. I shouldn't say blackmail, but kind of just trying to get them to make decisions to suit what's best for him. You know what I mean? They're not doing that shit. And that ownership's not going to come in and do that. They look like fools. I mean, these billionaires aren't. They're not going to do that shit. I mean, this dude's 41 years old. They don't have a roster that they can win with. They got to move on. So they can't coexist. That's just. I think it's just a political way to say it. I think it's also saying we support LeBron. I think what they're saying, okay, yeah, LeBron leaves, yeah, we support him leaving. They're also just probably playing to their fans that don't want LeBron to leave. Here, LeBron wanted to leave. We support him. We want what's best for him. It's kind of like the professional thing to say too. I mean, it makes him look good. What are they going to do? Trash him? You know what I mean? For leaving, for trying to win. Go somewhere where he can win in 2 years. I mean, they would look like assholes if they did that. So, this is just all bullshit. So, it shouldn't even be about the Lakers. He's not staying in LA. These LA fans need to just. I don't know why the LA fans are in denial about it. They should be glad he's leaving. You know what I mean? Their team can move forward. They're not winning in 2 years.
Not all of them. A lot of them.
I know, but some of them have chatted into. You're not winning. You should want to be free of this contract and start reinvesting your money into the long term. So it ran its course. They had a good run. They're in the playoffs. If they want to count that bubble championship, they can. I don't think anybody else is, but it's time to move on. They're absolute fools in LA if they thought this guy was going to finish his career there. That is just absolute arrogance because they're LA. No, this guy's not finishing his career there. Absolutely not. He's never going to end his career in LA. I've always thought he's going to end his career. He's just too much. He loves his home too much. He's going to end it here. So, I mean, why wouldn't he? And again, and LeBron and all of his guys, his camp. It's always been a narrative. His whole career has been a continuous narrative. There's no narrative to stay out there. The narrative is here. You know what I mean? His kid can come here and be. He's not under a microscope. The kid can just play in a G League if he wants, and if he improves and gets on the roster, great. If he doesn't, play a damn G League. People will still love him. He'll sell out. They still play down in Canton?
No, they play in Cleveland though.
I don't know, but that should be selling out. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's Cleveland, so. And I just think a lot of it too is, I think when you get to a certain age, when you get to 40 or so, your life starts to change. The things you think about, your desires. Especially if you're a Midwestern guy, grew up in the Midwest. I think you start to want to be home. You know what I mean? The dude can travel wherever he wants, when he wants, and faster than we ever could. You know what I mean? It's no big deal. Flying to freaking LA or even overseas is like us, driving to Canton. So, but I think it's just when you get to that age, your kids get a certain age, his wife's from here, the other thing a lot of people, again, what about his daughter? Where does he want his daughter to go to school? You know what I mean? So all these things start to surface when you get a certain age. I mean, the guy's he's lived a great life. He's lived a great career. He's done it everything. He's done everything. And it's time to come home, be home, be around all the people he grew up with. And that's the thing. It's not just the place. You start to want to go back to your childhood, your friends, you know what I mean? The people that were there with you when you get that age, So he's just stopped playing, 2 days in a row, playing golf with all his high school buddies and shit like that. You start to want that. You want to be around it more. So that's why I think he's going to come back here and finish. I just think that's just, I followed that dude since he was a freaking sophomore in high school. So many games. To me, he's always struck me as a homebody. The guy just loves it here. He loves here. And he loves being the man. So I just think everything's lined up. Especially if Dan Gilbert is saying, here you go. Here's 15% of the team. He's coming. There's no way in hell. If that 15% of the team, if Dan Gilbert is willing to sell him that 15% of the team, that alone right there, he's coming here. You're not letting somebody else get that.
Well, Maverick Carter said he'd be interested.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Is it making sense for anybody else to buy it? You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, there's plenty of other people that could or that would line up to buy it, but I just think it's kind of ironic Dan Gilbert releases that at that particular time. That 15%, we'll give 15%. I'm going to sell 15% of my team, not my whole team. And it's not like Dan Gilbert needs to sell. The guy's got so much freaking money. The Cavs are just a hobby to him. You know what I mean? It's strategic what he's doing. So, and he'll reap all the benefits.
Yeah, I think well said there, Jersey. It's gonna be an interesting week, that's for sure. Right, Mike? I think Parent Johnson here, something big. He thinks something big's going to happen this week. And shout out to Teflon Don. He said, "Stay on that grind, Joe. Great stream." Shout out to Daily Meditation Magic and Mark want LeBron. I don't think they do. I think that's why Magic left in 19. He didn't want anything to do with all the people telling him what to do. But Palinka's the only one trying to kick him out. Bradley Beal is one injury away from missing a lot of games. He's injury prone. So shout out to all you guys tonight. But again, Mike, going back to what Parent John said, something big might happen this week. Maybe they need to subscribe, and share, Mike.
Y'all need to subscribe, and share so you can stay up to date on all NBA, NFL news. We're a newer show. We're up and coming, and we're trying to get our utmost to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for all who commented. And we appreciate y'all very much. And we love you.
Jersey?
What Mike said. Just appreciative to all the fans, all the continued supporters, all the people there every show. It's awesome. You know what I mean? Getting a lot more people chatting in. So again, we're the guys that are normally up here the most consistently, and obviously it's Joseph's show, but just thankful for everybody that supports it, and we'd love for more people to just come on, take the stream and take the link and come on the show, and because really it's for everybody, and it's for everybody to have a good time, be entertained, and debate. You know what I mean? Joseph doesn't control it. Joseph does a great job. He's very fair. Just keep tuning in, and the show's growing. I've been here since the very beginning, and one of these days it's going to explode. And to tell you what, Joseph's that kind of guy. The people that are when the show explodes, and he's raking in the coin. He's the kind of guy to take care of those people that support him. So appreciate everybody. Everybody have a great week. Let's hope something great. Let's hope something big does happen in Cleveland this week.
Maybe. Good to see you, Parent John. Love you, brother. And shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. Love all you guys. Like, subscribe, share all the good stuff. And we'll see you guys the next one. Mike, are you saluting? Oh, no, you're doing a handstand.
Of course. I'm doing an upside down handstand right now, saluting. I'm saluting right now. You can't see it.
We're out of here.
Later.